In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 26, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Los Angeles Clippers versus Chicago Bulls. The Los Angeles Clippers, who currently hold a 31-26 record, are heading to the Midwest to face off against the Chicago Bulls, who stand at 23-35 in a non-conference matchup on Wednesday night. These two teams last met in January, with the Bulls securing a 13-point victory on the road. The Clippers are coming off a tough 106-97 loss to the Detroit Pistons, where they were 2.5-point underdogs. On the other hand, the Bulls are riding high after a dominant 142-110 win over the Philadelphia 76ers, where they defied the odds as 5.5-point road underdogs. The Clippers will still be without Norman Powell for this game, while the Bulls have ruled out Jalen Smith and have listed Ayo Dosunmu as questionable. Despite their 23-35 record, the Bulls are somehow still in the mix for a play-in spot, sitting in 10th place in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. They had been on a 6-game losing streak before catching a break against the struggling 76ers. Josh Giddey had a standout performance in that game, putting up 25 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists. It was his 18th double-double or better this season, showcasing his ability to fill the stat sheet in a big way. However, the Clippers are one of the top defensive teams in the NBA, and they are expected to have both Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard back for this matchup. The Clippers have also had success in Chicago, winning 4 of their last 5 games there. The Bulls' recent win over the 76ers was more a reflection of Philadelphia's struggles than Chicago's strength. The Clippers have grown accustomed to playing without Kawhi Leonard at times this season, but they've been able to lean on Bogdanovic, who continues to integrate into the team. When these teams last met, the Bulls needed a 35-point explosion from Zach LaVine to secure the win, but LaVine is no longer with the team, having been traded to the Sacramento Kings. The Bulls are also tinkering with their rotations, having moved Kobe White to the bench in their last game. Additionally, they might be without Nikola Vucevic, who has been dealing with a calf injury. With so much uncertainty surrounding the Bulls lineup, the Clippers can rely on their veteran core of Harden, Bogdanovic, and Zubac to step up, even if Powell remains sidelined. The Bulls rank 28th in defensive efficiency even at full strength, and with their current roster issues, they could struggle even more in this game. So the Los Angeles Clippers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Heading into this inter-conference clash, the Clippers boast the 3rd best defensive rating in the league and are expected to have 2 of their key players back in action. While the Bulls prefer to play at a fast pace, the Clippers rank in the bottom half of the league in terms of pace, and with Leonard available, they should be able to dictate the tempo. Over their last 10 games against the Clippers, the Bulls have averaged just over 110 points per game. The total for this game is set a bit high, especially considering the Clippers allow the 4th fewest points in the paint and the 7th lowest opposing 3-point percentage in the league. The Bulls' 142-point outburst against the 76ers was more of an anomaly than a sign of things to come, and they are likely to regress to their usual offensive output. Chicago ranks just 23rd in offensive efficiency, and these numbers were compiled over the course of the season, meaning they were this ineffective even with LaVine on the roster and Vucevic healthy. LaVine is no longer with the team, and Vucevic's status is up in the air after missing the last game. While Josh Giddey dropped 25 points and Dalen Terry added 17 in their win over the 76ers, those kinds of performances are unlikely to be repeated against a Clippers defense that ranks 2nd in the league in defensive efficiency. The Clippers do have their own offensive concerns, particularly if Powell remains out, as they only managed 97 points in their last game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Sacramento Kings versus Utah Jazz. The NBA schedule continues on Wednesday, February 26, 2025, with an exciting Western Conference matchup between the Sacramento Kings and the Utah Jazz. The game will take place at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. This matchup marks the final game of their 4-game regular season series, and the Kings are aiming to sweep the Jazz for the second consecutive season, adding extra stakes to this showdown. Sacramento might face some challenges as Keon Ellis is currently listed as questionable, potentially leaving them slightly short-handed. On the other hand, the Jazz are dealing with significant absences, including key players like John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, and Colin Sexton. Despite these setbacks, the Kings are generally considered the more talented team and are in desperate need of wins as they push for a playoff berth. Meanwhile, the Jazz are struggling to find momentum this season. However, the Kings have been inconsistent, particularly when it comes to securing wins, let alone winning by a significant margin. Their record against the spread this season is also concerning at 20 to 34 to 3, making them a risky bet. In contrast, the Jazz have covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 games and hold a more favorable 30 to 27 against the spread record for the year. Given these factors, it's hard to justify backing the Kings, especially when laying big numbers. So the Utah Jazz to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Defensively, the Jazz have been one of the weakest teams in the NBA this season, ranking last in defensive rating by allowing 119.5 points per 100 possessions. The Kings aren't much better, sitting at 21st in the same category. Offensively, the Jazz rely heavily on their three-point shooting, ranking 6th in the league in three-point rate. This could pose a problem for the Kings, who have struggled to defend the perimeter, allowing opponents to shoot 37.6% from beyond the arc, which is the 29th worst mark in the NBA. On the other hand, Sacramento should have no trouble scoring inside, as they rank 7th in the league in two-point percentage at 55.8%. Both teams play at a relatively fast pace, with the Kings ranking 12th and the Jazz close behind at 14th. Notably, 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total points line. When it comes to pace, both teams are in the top half of the league, with Sacramento being one of the fastest-paced teams overall. Defensively, the Jazz have fallen into the bottom 5 in nearly every shooting metric, but they've managed to stay competitive by ranking among the top 5 in offensive rebounds per game. The Kings, meanwhile, have been efficient in two-point shooting, while the Jazz have had trouble defending inside the arc. Both teams also rank in the top half of the league in free throw percentage, so we can expect that trend to continue in this game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. San Antonio Spurs versus Houston Rockets. The San Antonio Spurs are set to face the Houston Rockets at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, on Wednesday night. This matchup is a key Southwest Division clash, with both teams looking to make a statement. The game marks the final meeting in their 4-game regular season series, and the Rockets are aiming to secure the series win by grabbing their 3rd consecutive victory over the Spurs. San Antonio will once again be without Victor Wembanyama and Charles Bassey, while Houston continues to miss Fred VanVleet, who remains sidelined. The Spurs have been struggling lately, losing 2 games in a row after blowing double-digit leads in both. On the other hand, the Rockets are showing signs of improvement, coming off a hard-fought win against the Milwaukee Bucks last night. Both teams are playing on 0 days of rest, but the Rockets have the advantage of staying at home, as their previous game was also in Houston. The Spurs' struggles without Wembanyama are evident in their declining net rating, which currently sits at -2, placing them 19th in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Rockets boast a much stronger net rating of 4.2, good for 7th in the league. Offensively, the gap between the two teams is also noticeable. Since the All-Star break, San Antonio has averaged just 109 points per game, while Houston has put up 118 points in their last 2 outings. Despite their recent win, the Rockets have had a rough stretch, losing 8 of their last 11 games before Wednesday's matchup with Milwaukee. VanVleet's absence since early February has been a significant blow, and his return is sorely needed. However, this game could be an opportunity for Houston to bounce back. He'll be playing at home, while the Spurs are coming off a road trip from New Orleans. Without Wembanyama, San Antonio will likely struggle to defend the paint, making Alperen Sengun a key player to watch, especially for those interested in player props. Houston has dominated recent matchups with San Antonio, winning 5 of the last 6 games straight up and covering the spread in 4 of those 6. The most recent meeting was a blowout, with the Rockets defeating the Spurs 127-100 as 6.5-point home favorites. So the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defense is a cornerstone of the Rockets' game plan. They play at a slower pace, averaging 98.6 possessions per 48 minutes, which ranks 19th in the league. This suggests that the game might not be a high-scoring affair. The Spurs, on the other hand, will likely try to push the tempo and rely on their three-point shooting. However, San Antonio has been inconsistent from beyond the arc, making just 34.9% of their attempts, which ranks 20th in the NBA. Houston doesn't rely heavily on three-pointers either. They rank 28th in three-point rate and 27th in three-point percentage. Interestingly, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under the total points line. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.